Hello, friends. Hope you're doing well. So, it has been incredibly snowy outside this week. So much so that my girlfriend got 2 days off work. And schools will be closed for 3 days this week because tomorrow's going to be another snow day because it is just kind of blizzarding outside right now. And I had a job get canceled tonight that it was supposed to be the first shoot of the year, the first shoot, because I work part-time taking photos at a church. So that Sunday was kind of the first shoot, but I'm like an employee there, so I don't count that as a shoot, I guess. Anyway, it's just kind of like, oh, that was the first shoot of the year, and like it's canceled. And you're like, that's kind of a ominous start to the year. But this will be the 16th video I've made this year, which is pretty good because we're on day 12, so kicking ass on that goal. But it's just something about snow. It just makes you not want to do anything. Because I don't know what it is, it's just like, it's something in the lizard brain is like, it's bad outside, stay in the cave. And so, like, this week, it's not been super productive. I think last week, I measured by my stupid arbitrary goals because I've got nothing else to do. I was at like 1.8%, and now this week, so far, it's Friday, and I'm at like 2.2%. Like, I've made the tiniest bit of progress, but that's still progress, so we're gonna celebrate it, I guess. But I need to be getting about 2% a week. To hit the goal. So I'm not hard on myself because I know like January is kind of, I'm not gonna say like the first 2 weeks of the year, the first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks are kind of just throwaway weeks because like nothing gets done the first 2 weeks because everyone is still like coming back from the holiday fog and it's crappy outside, so I can't go get steps. And like I was supposed to have like 2 Warhammer games this last week and they got canceled. And so it's just like, and then now 3 snow days, and you're like, that's, the snow day prevented me from playing hockey, so I'm just like having a hard time. I get on the exercise bike, and I can get about 4 miles in before I'm just like, we should be conserving. I think that's what it is. It's like the lizard brain. It's like we should be conserving resources. Like we can't expend a lot of energy here. But I know I have a pretty good tax bill due this year, so I gotta make some money. So I guess make videos, because I don't have anything else to do right now. Yeah, so there's that. But I got some jobs that owe me some money. So that's like 60 or 70% of my tax bill. That's most of it. But then I got 4 months to make up the other. I think it's like $2,000. So that, it's not like a huge, unmanageable chunk, but it is kind of one of those like, gotcha, kind of like surprises because I'm terrible at paying my quarterly estimates and I need to get better at that. Although to be fair, last year I had not negative cash flow, but like the cash flow situation was real dicey and like it was paycheck to paycheck last year. And so, yeah, I need to be a little more proactive this year. Good things are happening. We just had a business meeting for my production company that I have with some friends. There's going to be a lot of work from that. A little less than last year, but still a good amount. And I've already gotten hit up for like 3 jobs that were due. That were supposed to be this month, and they were like, that kind of, it was like, hey, can you do this? And then it was like, just kidding, we have somebody that's doing it that works in-house. And it's like, it's not gonna be as good, but like, whatever. Like, it's gonna be a lot cheaper, so. But yeah, I've been just trying to focus on what I can control, because that's really all you can do. And I started doing a little bit of cleaning up the enclosure, because we have too much stuff. And that's really what I think today's video is going to be about, having too much stuff and decluttering and how do you do it, and trying to figure out with that. I saw there's a YouTuber that I like, or that I liked. He's been kind of falling off on for me. His name's Van Neistat. It's Casey Neistat's brother, if you're not aware. Him and Casey made a TV show together a long time ago, and that's kind of how I got started filmmaking. Was watching their TV show on HBO, which was kind of like YouTube before YouTube. So anyway, he had a video today about like decluttering, but like it wasn't as good, and it's kind of why he's kind of falling off for me. It's like the video, most of his videos are like really zen like, so it's a good vibe, but then it's like super good wisdom. And this video just like fell short, because like the basic TLDR of his video, you can go watch it if you want, and you just get like a sense for the vibes. The vibes are still great, but it was like, gather all the stuff up in your house, put it in boxes with a date, and then put it in a storage unit, and then go look at that storage unit a year later. And it's like, I'm not paying hundreds of dollars to store the stuff that I know I don't need. I just have trouble getting rid of it. Like, some of it is sentimental value, which there's some of that, but like most of it is like, I paid a lot of money for this thing, it might be useful later, so I need to get over that part of it. And so to that end, I think Marie Kondo had a better thing about that. It was kind of just like, think of all the things you're holding on to, you're hoarding, that you might use someday, and like, be honest with yourself, when was the last time you used it? And you realize like most of the stuff, it's been over a year. And so it's like, if you got rid of all of it, realistically, how many of those things would you need in the coming year? And what is the cost of those things? And so with a lot of stuff, it's like a lot of camera stuff that's just like, these little widgets that I love. I've got like 12 of them. They're not very big, so I'm gonna keep them, obviously. But like, that's the idea. It's like, how many like little widgets do I have that are like this, that I don't use? And why do I have 12 of these things? Like, at most I'm using like 3 or 4 on any given one shoot. But it's like, cause you gotta keep them in different bags, which, I mean, that's kind of fair. But there's a lot of stuff that I haven't used, and so it's like, what would the cost be of replacing that if I needed it, and could I borrow it from somebody else or rent it? And so it's like, okay, realistically, if I, there's 2 of them right here. Here's a third one. That's just on this desk, which is just for making ASMR videos. Is all this desk is for. I just farted also. I don't know if you could hear that. Anyway, just dropping stuff. Anyway, it's like, what would the cost of replacing these? These are like $15 each. So it's like, if I got rid of 3 of them, and I still have 3, like, realistically, would I ever need 6? But probably not. And so, what would be the cost of getting on a 4th or something like I could borrow something like it from somebody, so I don't need that, so I could ditch that. Like, we were looking for a new mouse for my girlfriend, and I realized I've got like 5 mouses. Like, why do I have 5 mouses? Like, the one I have works, the one she had works, except like the scroll wheel squeaks. The one in the living room, that's like our media center, works. The one that is for my laptop works. So why do I have these like extra 5 mice? Like, it's just, you throw those away. Like, what does a mouse cost? Like $20 for like a really good one. Not like an amazing one, but like a good enough one. It's like $20. And you just think about, like, you just start doing that with everything, and you're like, when have I used this? And it's like, when will I use this? Like, what would the cost be? What's the most realistic scenario of when I would need this? And realistically, could I find an alternative that I could borrow or rent or just go buy? And it's like, most of the time, like, the answer is yes. So it's like, get rid of it, And so the problem with that, and the problem I have, and this is where I go against Marie Kondo's advice. Marie Kondo says, like, not to do it piecemeal and just bit by bit. But I think I get overwhelmed when I have big projects like that. And that's why I'm really bad at video editing, is because like with video editing you just get this lump of stuff and it's like you have to make something out of it, and there's just like hundreds and thousands of like micro decisions that need to get made, and it just overwhelms my brain and I don't know where to start with the pile, because so much of what I want to do is like a heroic effort and like do all the work at once. But like I need to do all the work at once, you have to have like a game plan. You know, with photography it's easy, you just start at the beginning and you edit it till there's no more photos. But you can't really do that with video, because there's like, you know, there's a process there that like I can do because I've successfully created hundreds of videos, and not just like ASMR videos where I hit record and just talking to the camera, but like actual videos for clients that I've edited. But I've always struggled with that part of the process, and it gets done, but like it takes a bit of my soul every time I do it, and I don't really enjoy it. So this year my company's gonna be hiring some editors, and because one of the other guys like doesn't edit at all, and then the other guy is just like too busy with his day job to really, and he's like probably the better editor of the three of us anyway. So yeah, there's that. But so we're gonna bring on some editors and hopefully shuffle some work to them. I'll still probably take some because I need to figure it out, I think, for my own edification. And I think part of what is gonna help me do that is I'm thinking about kind of making an honest effort on a YouTube channel that's like where you actually have to edit the videos, and there'll be, you know, more to it and it'll be more structured. But because there's no client, there's no deadlines, I mean, I have like self-imposed deadlines, so that way I can continually push out stuff and kind of keep myself on a roadmap of like getting better at this skill that I probably should have for my own, you know, career path. But also at the same time having a type of content, you know, it's like that's the thing with YouTube channels, is like it has to be sustainable. And so like the ASMR is like super sustainable because I could just make noise or sit down and talk at the camera and then just here's my brain spaghetti. There's so much of it, you know, like I could do this all day every day and just talk and talk and talk. I mean, I get dry, but like I always get dry in the winter, so. But yeah, where was I going? Oh, decluttering. Yeah, it's all around the world to get there. And so where I disagree with Marie Kondo is like doing things a little bit at a time and just like one closet. Let's go into one closet and let's just get the low, not even do the whole closet. That's too much. Just look in there. What's the low hanging fruit? What is the stuff I can get rid of, you know, and I'd feel okay with. Like that was easy. You know, I got some of the low hanging fruit out of this closet. I cleaned up this chair. Now I can sit in the chair again, which is great. I love that chair. And I was thinking about getting rid of the chair because I was like, if I got rid of that chair, I could have more space for weird himbo stuff. But then I'm like, I'm not using the himbo stuff, so I should get rid of the himbo stuff, not the chair, because I love the chair, because I love to sit down, because I'm lazy. And I could sit in the chair and I could write my new YouTube for my YouTube channel, which is gonna be a Warhammer channel, if you couldn't figure that out. So yeah, I think it's like finding one or two things to throw away every day with, you know, and that takes away the sting of like, when am I gonna use this next? When was the last time I used it? Have I ever used it? You know, because you're not getting rid of all of it at once. So then I think that helps your brain. It's like there still could be chances where you could use some of that stuff. So what's the least valuable thing that you're definitely not gonna use? Like get rid of that first. You're like, okay, I could do that. You know, it's not so scary. And then as you go up the hierarchy, you might get to a point where you don't have to get rid of anything else, and that stuff that you kind of didn't want to get rid of, because like maybe one day I will use 6 of these grab clamps. I don't have to get rid of them because I got rid of enough other stuff that it'll be fine, you know. And yeah, that's my thoughts on decluttering. And so at this point, that's the strategy, which is terrible, which is like just do a little bit every day until you forget about it. Until you get too busy to like actually execute on that anymore. But that's what I'm gonna try to do. So wish me luck. feel confident that I've already gotten up one trash bag's worth. We've got half of a box ready to go to Goodwill, and we're looking through our books. We're gonna do a half-price book run, and then I've got a number of things that I'm like, okay, be honest with yourself. Like, I have these power blocks. I don't really like using dumbbells, so I'm gonna get rid of those. I've got a hex bar, like a trap bar, in the garage. I've used it. I've lifted it like maybe 50 times total. So it's like I've had it for over a year. It's not getting used. I've got a sled. I've pushed it a couple times. It's like I like the sled. There's just not a good place to do it in an apartment. So it's like I get rid of that, you know, and you could just get rid of some of these things for less money. And you know, that's where we're at. So and then, hey, you know what? I sell some of that stuff, you know, even if it's at a loss or whatever, like put that towards the tax bill, that $2,000, you know, so all of a sudden that's not such a big problem anymore. So anyway, that is it for today's video. So with that said, thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. And the question of the day, if you've gotten this far, do you have stuff to declutter? Do you have any tips for decluttering? Anything that's worked for you in the past? Let me know in the comments so I can start executing on this and clear up some space so I can be a little less cluttered in my brain, which might help.